Let's code this hamburger menu with this nice animation when we toggle its state. Here I have this empty HTML page, no frameworks, no nothing, just HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. First, I'm going to modify the body styles just so I can center my hamburger button. So I centered it with flex layout. And our hamburger is going to be just a button element with a class name of hamburger. We're going to add this label of menu, but it's not going to be rendered on the screen. It's just for screen readers. It's just a nice feature to have. So let's hide it by giving it a class name of screen reader only. And the lines of the hamburger will be inside a wrapper called hamburger lines. And each individual line will also be just a div with a class name of hamburger line. And that's all the HTML we're going to need. And let's write some CSS. First, I'm going to uh, hide the screen reader only content. I'm going to give it a position of absolute, opacity 0, and pointer events none. So it's going to be rendered on the screen, but it's not going to be visible or clickable. Now let's give some basic styles to the hamburger so we can just see it on the screen, just so we can see that it works. Well, I don't see it on the screen. Yeah, because we forgot to give it a width. It's going to be 48 pixels on both sides. Here it is. Now the element that contains the lines is going to be just a bit smaller than its parent. So it's going to be 40 pixels on both sides. Let's give it a background also for debugging. You can see that it's smaller than its parent. It's so we can reserve 8 pixels of space. So we can, let's say if you miss the button and click just close to it, it still works. It's especially good for the touch devices. And let's now style each individual line. Let's give it a background. Its width is going to be 100% and height 2 pixels. And we're going to position it absolutely. Left will be 0 and the top position will be given individually to each of them. Let's make the parent relative. We're going to position each one individually by selecting it by order. Here it is. So the first one, stop position, is going to be, we're going to use calculation here. It's going to be 33.3% minus 1 pixel. So we can compensate for its height of 2 pixels. The second one will be positioned on 66%, same minus 1 pixel. See if it works. No, something's wrong. Oh, yeah, here we go. Let's also remove the padding on the button so it doesn't mess with our layout. And center everything inside the hamburger. Display flex. justify center, align center. Now it looks good. We can now remove the background that we added just for debugging. We don't need it anymore. And it's time to write some CSS code. Oh, I mean JavaScript code. We're going to first select the hamburger button using query selector. Then we check if it exists in the first place. And if it exists, let's give it an event listener of click. And on click, we're going to toggle its class name of active, hamburger active. Let's style this active state just so we can see if it works. We're active, background, red. Yeah, it works, which means that its class name is changing to active when we click on it. Now we're going to rotate both of these lines when hamburger's class name is active. We're going to change the top position to 50% for both of them because they need to be centered. And we're going to rotate the first one to 45 degrees. And the second one will be rotated to minus 45 degrees. Let's give them a transition. And now let's see if it works. It does.